What's up, fellow connoisseurs of crime drama? Josh of All Trades here, and today we're reviewing the night of Episode 6, Samson and Delilah. Okay, now before we really get into what was going on in the show, there's something I gotta get off my chest. The soundtrack for the show is really good. There were a few really great examples I enjoyed in tonight's show. First off, in the scene where Chandra is working on her introductory statements for the case, it has her in her office, and there's this music in the background. It's like a cello and maybe a piano as well, just, bum, bum, building at like 55 or 60 beats per minute. And Stone calls her, the music keeps going. The scene goes to box, the music keeps going. And so there's like a lot of tension building up throughout this episode, which was really well done. Secondly, I really like the scene where Nas, Stone, and Chandra were all at their table inside the courtroom, and as they're talking, we get that voiceover from Freddie that takes us to the next scene where Nas is getting tatted up inside the cell, talk with Freddie and the boys. And then finally, at the very end of the episode, when Andrea's stepdad is helping the woman lift some weights and we got Stone creeping on him, we experience Stone looking into the gym and getting this filtered music as like some sort of workout sound that's going on inside there. And then to us as the audience, we get that same music played over the credits, which was a really good moment that blended between the show and our reality. So kudos to everyone working on the soundtrack on this. I think, I've said before, I think the show is just very good cinematic quality, and it's a joy purely to watch and experience this. But that being said, let's get into the contents of what happened tonight. Oh, Nas. It seems that this guy's disinterest in the legal system has peaked, and he's getting really comfortable breaking the rules. Or maybe he's just settling back into his old ways. I mean, he's really getting into the whole tattoo and drug thing. Mostly in Nas' story tonight, though, I think it was really telling when Freddie had that line. He said something like, "I'm gonna make a convict out of you yet," to Nas. And while we still have Freddie being the good guy, he's helping Nas out. He's giving him the phone, he's giving him this white shirt so he looks good in court. He seems really invested in the status quo, and it seems unlikely that he's really making meaningful action that's going to help Nas get out of the situation. Secondly, shout out to Stone. This guy's finally making his feet stuff come through. He found some Chinese doctor called Dr. Yi that had a cure for his feet, and for the first episode, I've ranted on this before, Stone's feet did not disgust me, and that gets me really excited. Stone was finally able to walk into the courtroom wearing some of those nice leather shoes that he's always wanted, and I think it's good for him as a character. But yeah, like I said before, I don't think his feet are about Nas. I think it's just about him and his character's progression into a better career and a better lifestyle. I think we need to keep our eyes on what happens between Stone and the cat that was found at the crime scene, and that'll be telling of what's going to happen to Nas. And then the last big thing that happened tonight that we've been doing for a few episodes now is introducing a plethora of characters that act kind of suspect or creepy or may have something to do around Andrea that night without actually proving that they had something to do with it. Earlier in the season, the show suggested that Andrea's stepdad may have had something to do with her death, and the financial situation that she and him were in may have played a role in her death. And tonight we returned to that, but we didn't actually have any further proof other than that this guy's a gold digger. Then in last week's episode, Stone was introducing Andrea's drug dealer, and it showed that maybe he had something to do with it, and it even ended with that big old chase between Stone and Dwayne Reed, which, what happened to that? It was a bunch of hype that we didn't even talk about this episode. And tonight we had that really tough guy, hearse driver, that, he was quoting Judges chapter 16. It seems like he doesn't have a great opinion of women, but, this guy hangs around corpses all day, and I don't know if he's very credible to begin with. All of these suspects give the audience some glimpse of hope that Nas didn't have anything to do with this, but we don't have any hard evidence either, so my thoughts go back to Nas. So where are we going with this show? Well, as it left off, Nas saw a little bit of male-on-male inmate action that he wasn't supposed to see, and now he's in a situation with some sort of tough guy at the jail that he's going to have to take care of himself. And I think bad guy Nas is going to come out again. I think he's going to take care of it himself, and he's going to have to solve it with violence, Not that he's ever done anything violent before. Maybe he's going to push the guy downstairs. Number 1B. Someone's going to see all these tattoos that Nas is getting, especially the ones on his hands. Or maybe the lone wolf on his shoulder that's howling at the moon as a symbol of him standing alone as a one-man wolf pack in the prison. To which Nas is going to have to explain that he was pressured by the other inmates and all this stuff going on, and he's going to do a good job of it though, because Nas is a smart guy, he's able to communicate clearly, and he's very intelligent, so I think we're going to have that conflict coming up because it's definitely setting up for it, but Nas is going to handle it well. And then finally, we're going to see Stone and Chandra and some of their quickly escalating sexual tension, chasing down some of the suspects that we've introduced in the show and interrogating them, and maybe even getting enough doubt that Nas did it to get him off the hook. Hey, but remember, he did it though. I have a really good time talking with y'all in the comments, so leave a comment if you agree with me or disagree or have some other thoughts about tonight's episode. Like, we ended, there's only 2 episodes left. I'm getting really excited to see what's going to happen, and I'll definitely be watching next Sunday, so I hope to see you then. Bye, y'all.